listen. Look out the window there. Great Scott! A lantern!
The concept of the show is a radio broadcast that's going out live in London in 1938, just pre-Second World War. And we have this company of actors and we come together to the studio to perform a live radio recording of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Hound of the Baskervilles.
It's murder, what?
The whole thing is like an experience.
You're transported, and that's what we are trying to create. And yet, there is an audience viewing that. It's as if they're sitting at home listening to the wireless.
It's very voyeuristic, and we're letting them in, and they're going to see how all magic happens.
Assume first of all it's a 1930s performance in situation, so you've got a suspended disbelief to start for that, then you've got to suspend your disbelief again to get the show and have the show, and then the fact that it's a radio broadcast, you've got an extra thing to do, so you're working really hard. At some points you've just got to close your eyes.
Good evening. Tonight, we take you back to Baskervilles. The game is afoot!
The concept of this show is a radio broadcast that is going out live in London in 1938, so just pre-Second World War. And we have a company of actors, some who are major stars of their time, some who are just starting out in the business, that have come together to a studio to perform a live radio recording based on Arthur Conan Doyle's The Hound of the Baskervilles. The adaptation of the novel we're using within the play is by renowned actor and author Simon Williams, and was originally written as a stage play. What we've done is take out a few things, move some things around, and really made it usable as a radio drama. And it works extremely well, and it is really funny. On top of that, we then added our own narrative centred on the actors themselves to really bring out this story of the radio stars and their relationship with each other as the broadcast continues throughout the evening.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Every time, shoot! Don't shoot! What? What the blazes is going on? Mr. Castle, shut up, Phillips! What? Come on, Andrew, tell me now. Who hanged? The BBC. The BBC. Dicky, with me. Yes, Mr. Castle. I need someone who understands technology. What do they think I am, Gilbert?
The performance centres around two major things. The sound effects that are being made throughout the show by all the actors at some point, and the relationship between these performers, both during the recording of the play and then off mic. So you can literally see these actors at all times. As an audience member watching, you're drawn to so many things happening on so many different levels that it's really immersive. And as a piece, we're trying to invoke the golden age of radio and to allow our audience to see into a dying and arcane world that they would never have been privileged to see or experience before.
Poor man was running behind.
Help me, Jacob, he's after me!
It's great actually, because when you put all the things together, it's a great spectacle watching the mechanics of the show. Especially with all the sound effects put in there as well. You don't watch The Hound of the Baskervilles, you watch a radio show that's been put on.
The whole thing is a challenge. So you've not only got The Hound of the Baskervilles as a play, you've got the characters playing the characters, so it's a play within the play, and on top of that, you're recreating sort of a radio effect, so it's like three challenges all in one.
We've built and collected hundreds of props that make sound effects to aid the telling of this play, ranging from really small to enormous set pieces. They're all from original drawings and inventions that would have been used in this period.
Princetown! Princetown! This is Princetown! All change, please! All change! We apologise for the late arrival of this train. We've had convicts on the line.
Brilliant. I think it's probably the best Fringe show I've ever actually seen. It was very good, very original.
The three of us were blown away. We kind of didn't expect this level of performance.
Sometimes I just shut my eyes, as I would have been listening on the radio, and it actually was quite different. It was quite helpful, really.
On your life.
On my life.
We're having. Come on!
It's looking in almost to another life. The people who still invest themselves into the performance of a play, but also observing the relationship between these people. So it's almost like a fly on the wall. It's not just going to the theatre to be told a story. It's going to be told a story by these celebrities.
Rehearsing, just what I like to see.
Who you gossip about, you hear things about.
Now, beautiful.
Enough of that.
Oh, I was just admiring
My sketches.
sketches.
It's really about the actors and their relationships with each other and what happens behind closed doors whilst they're recording the piece. Therefore, it makes the brand of concept of this show really versatile, because you could pick any play, you could keep changing it around every week, you could do something different. If you kept changing the script and the narrative, audiences would come back week after week to see how the actors are progressing and how they're getting on with each other.
Mrs. Lyons, you noticed that Charles had made an appointment at the very place and the very hour that you made his death, did you not?
Really, sir? That is a very extraordinary question.
Oh, I'm sorry, madam, I must repeat it.
Then I answer. Certainly not.
There was no meeting then at Baskervilles Hall?
No.
On the very day of his death?
No.
Not at the main gate?
No.
At 10 o'clock at night?
I asked him to burn the letter.
He tried to. Believe me, Mrs. Lyons, he tried to.
God rest his soul.
We discovered earlier on how fantastic the show is going to be for audience members with visual impairments, because it's ultimately a show about storytelling through sound and music. I mean, normally theatre can primarily be for the sighted, but with this show we're forcing the average theatre goer to utilise their sense of hearing much more than they would do normally as they watch a theatre show.
We ran touch tours before some of the performances, which was amazing. We had several blind audience members come and play around with these sound effects and touch the Foley desk, and they really got something extra from the performance. We'd like to continue doing this and try and run some workshops to go with it, to have some audience members with visual impairments come along and invent some brand new props which we could then use in the show somewhere.
This is also something we want to expand further with educational projects for children, for them to come along, play around with the sound Foley props, create soundscapes, and learn about how sound and music is integral to theatre and how they can simply use their imagination to tell a story to a listener over the radio.
Now it's young Naaman. Young Naaman comes glorying my beauty.
I still got scared even though I could see that people were actually making their own sound effects and stuff. It was really good company.
What they produced was just fantastic, completely engrossing. It was brilliant.
I seldom see something that's so enjoyable and authentic and kind of, I don't know, immersive. It was really, you're just sort of concentrating all the time to keep up the frenetic pace of it. It was clear and really funny.
Our aim is to get a transfer for this piece so that many more members of the public will be able to see how creative, inventive and really funny the production is. From what we saw of the audiences that attended the original short run of the show, we really saw how it can appeal to a whole generation of theatre goers, young and old, because they really are sitting in on the action, witnessing this story come to life through the millions of sound effects and props, and these radio stars bringing all these characters to life.
What are you?
Shh! Just look at Sherlock Holmes. These stories are very popular right now with the resurgence of movies and TV adaptations. They're classic thrillers that engage and entertain audiences time after time. And particularly with this production, the amount of educational projects, workshops and even touch tours that can be attached to it makes it something very special that can grow and develop either by a transfer so it can run for a longer period or even by a tour so that many more people out there will be able to see it and be entertained by it.
Come on, we can have a little dinner at Marchini's on the way.